Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Ida Red. I don't know, odd. I think I've seen it, but maybe not. It came out in November, evidently. It's a 5.5 on IMDb, but only 913 people have rated it so far. It's an hour and 51 minutes long, and it's about a woman who's in prison with a terminal illness and for robbery, and she turns to her son for one last job, and a chance to regain her freedom. I don't know. It just seems odd, but it's Frank Grillo's in it. Josh Hartnett's in it. Sophia Hublitz is in it. I don't know. William Forsythe is in it. You know him from a lot of different things. Mark Boone Jr. You might not recognize the name, but you know him. So there's a couple people in it. I'm interested. It feels familiar. I don't know. Let me get into it, find out what it's about, give you a better idea, and let you know what I think. Alright, stick around. I thought I had something on my shirt. I'll be back. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Ida Red. We're at the 53-minute, 12-second mark. A little bit before halfway, but my daughter came down, so good time to check in. Essentially, it's a family of robbing and stealing, so thieves, I guess, big time thieves. So Ida Walker she's the woman in jail. She's like the head of everything, but she's moving the chess pieces from within there. Her son is Josh Hartnett, and either her brother or brother-in-law is Frank Grillo, probably brother-in-law. So she was married. So her and her husband were in, they were thieves together, and Frank Grillo was a part of their gang. But she's in prison. She got busted. She got 25 years for robbery and accessory to murder. She's sick. They're trying to get her out because she's sick. Josh Hartnett and Frank Grillo are on the outside. They're working for her, but also trying to get her out any way that they can, kind of thing. So, as you can imagine, all these heist movies, there's certain robberies that go on, and then there's the police who try and find them, or the authorities, if you will, whatever, FBI, so on and so forth. So, so you got that. That's where all of those come in, and our main FBI agent is William Forsythe, so he's leading the tasks, and Sophia Hublitz, who I recognize the name now. I know she's from the Netflix show that I can't remember off the top of my head, but she is Josh Hartnett's niece. And I know it's going to come up right away. Ozark. Yeah, she's the girl from Ozark. So, a lot of family. And then her dad, so Josh Hartnett's brother-in-law, is actually a cop as well. So him and Forsythe are heading the investigation to try and find out, what's going on with all this robbing and stealing. And of course, they're trying to make sure everything's quiet, trying to clean up any messes that are going on. So, it's your normal heist movie, if you will, just family oriented. I know there's a couple out there, and I'll think about them once I get back into it on very similar type situations. But it's entertaining. I like it so far. I do think there's some moments. There's a dance that I thought, a little much. And then there's a singing like a canary scene, which I think is a little unbelievable. You don't expect these guys to break that easily, but, without going into too much detail. I don't know what it's going to lead to, but that's it. I mean, otherwise, I enjoyed it. I think Josh Hartnett, funny. I'll break away real quick. I happened to read something about him, of course, on Facebook. One of those, what happened to Josh Hartnett, because he was a superstar. He was, in all these kinds of movies, heartthrob, all that kind of stuff, and he just went away. So you rarely see him anymore, but here he is. You see him every now and again. And from what I gather, some insight here. Here's some Kimmel's Irish Pub insight. This is why you tune in each and every night, right? He couldn't stand the Hollywood lifestyle. So he just up and left. I think he lives in Europe somewhere. Maybe London, I don't know. But he lives over there. And but he couldn't take it anymore. He didn't like everything that was going on. So he dropped everything and just left. But he didn't quit, ultimately. He just decided now I'm just going to pick the roles that I want to do, and I'll do those. And so I think that's kind of neat. That's very interesting. You know, somebody can give it all up. I mean, he's a family man now. He's got a wife, and I believe some kids, and really focuses on them. But really, he decides what he wants to do, and if he doesn't like it, he won't do it. But I mean, you know, he looks the same. I mean, just a little bit older. So, you know, I think that's pretty neat. So there you go. Some knowledge for you there. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me get back to the movie here and see if I come up with any other fancy nuggets to share with you. But either way, I'll let you know what I think of the movie. So stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody. We're at the credits of Ida Red, and I have to say, I was back and forth. You know, when I was watching this, I felt okay. It's a good heist, family heist kind of movie. Family Business was the movie I was thinking of. Sean Connery and Matthew Broderick, and I think it's Dustin Hoffman. Anyway, it just came to mind. If you haven't seen that, I know it's an older movie, but you know, this is like a grittier version than that. That was more of a comedy, I think. But I felt this was pretty good. Like I said, there's some parts where it's like but they're not that bad, over the top, that it's going to ruin the film. They're the only two I can really think of. You know, I mean, there's some parts, you know, like that happens where it's like you would be like, well, what, run, you know, and they don't run, kind of thing. But other than that, I think I'm being nitpicky. I like the story. It's you know, it's family business meets Heat, I would say. It's kind of got that Heat vibe to it at certain points. You know, maybe even like there's a third movie, but I don't know. Who cares? You get it, right? It's a grittier, not super gritty, but you know, it's not as like in Heat they were all like, you know, dressed up and very, you know, where these guys are kind of, you know, more, you know, they're not taking their money and spending it and driving Cadillacs and living in big houses and stuff like that. They're just, you know, living life as it is and doing what they do. So you know, there's that different aspect to it. But I like they hit you with some, you know, different twists that I didn't see coming, and I thought that was good. You know, I thought this is where I was battling. I'm like, I can kind of see where this movie's gonna go, and you know, some of it I was right, but not all of it. You know, so in the end, and even at the end, I was like, oh, wait, what? You know, and even the final scene I thought was pretty neat, what they did there. So I know I'm talking in kind of riddles, but what I'm trying to say, it's definitely worth watching. I'm probably putting it at a 7. I like it that much. I always like Frank Grillo. I thought the concept of this movie was pretty interesting, and I like now even more like Josh Hartnett coming back and being in this kind of film. You know, I guess because I just saw it on Facebook, that could be helping. But I like everything that they did. It all takes place in Oklahoma. I don't know if that matters, but definitely check it out if you like any of the movies that I mentioned, especially Heat. If you like any of the actors, I think you'll want to see it. I'm going to throw a 7 at this one. I was on the fence with a 6. This is what I was saying before I interrupted myself. I was like, it's like a 6. I feel like I give too many 6s, but it's a good, solid movie. It's definitely not a 5. But it felt like I almost predictable in a sense, but then it wasn't as predictable as I thought it was. So bumped it up to a 7. There you go. That's all I got for you. A little gem. Not many people have seen it. It's been out since November. So hopefully you're interested in it, and I helped you make a decision. Go check it out. Hopefully you'll be happy. And if you are, make sure you subscribe to my channel and tell all your friends. And continue to tune in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.